Welcome to the pod, guys. Before we get into podding, is saving more and spending less one of your top goals for 2022?
Yes. Let me answer that for you. Yes.
Well, then why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for a wireless? Switch to Mint Mobile, Cass. It is the easiest way to save this year. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you maximize your savings with plans starting at just $15 a month. How easy is that?
I think if what I was thinking about is how many different subscription services I have per month and how quickly those are adding up and how I really should be trying to save money because I'll just sign up for something, a subscription box or a Hulu or a Netflix. And I'm spending so much money that I think I've never had this many bills, like separate bills. So anywhere I can cut a corner and save a few bucks, I can do a lot of that via cutting out my regular wireless bill and spending just $15 a month.
And with Mint Mobile, because it's online only, you're eliminating all the traditional costs of the retail. So you're already getting significant savings from that. And all the plans come with unlimited talk and text and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. So to get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/pajama. That's mintmobile.com/pajama. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/pajama.
Something bothers me about like adults taking those what's supposed to be kids photos.
Okay. Are we, you want to do this now so we can get into it or do you want
I think we're in it.
I thought that's what I was doing.
I thought we were
didn't officially be like, we're all right, here we go, podding.
Yeah. I didn't know if you were getting ready to pod or not, but
he's ready to pod is the point.
I'm podding.
Okay. So we want to do Lizzie's.
Yep. We're on Lizzie's, guys. We're doing a dating profile again. We're back with this segment. We've received a couple of entries.
We've taken some time off from this segment. We heard your guys' concerns. And so we thought we'd come back, I think it's been like 2 or 3 months since we've done one of these. So
we're summing up our year.
Yes, this is true though. We have to wrap up the year with our things.
Our hits.
our hits.
That's right. Okay, so yeah, we've all decided that Lizzie's going to be this profile that we look at. Okay, now you guys on the first photo?
Yes.
Well, which is the first photo?
It's the one Rob was talking about, where it says Lizzie 27. She's got the peace signs. She's on a tree branch.
She's holding double peace signs with like cherry blossoms behind her. She's in this cute little jumpsuit, cute smile. Go ahead, Rob.
No, that's just Gabby's gonna throw in what I already said about it. It's just borderline something I've seen before. I don't know. There's something when I see like 27-year-olds doing this is supposed to be in like a catalog, but it's just me for it makes me uncomfortable. I don't know.
So you don't like the fact that she took time to make a nice photo? It's too staged for you.
Is it because you know that it literally had to be okay, I'm going to go sit on this branch. You go right there. So it doesn't feel like a genuine moment in her life.
Yeah. And I know we always say you always want to be the only person in your photo, but maybe this would be a photo that's better with someone else in it. I don't know. It just makes me uncomfortable. What are you doing here? It's there's no other option here than hey, I staged this photo.
Yes, I get it.
I don't like that.
She looks adorable, but now I'd like you to switch to the second slide.
She looks happy. And
she does. And I like that.
I like her energy already.
And you know what? She was so happy that she was basically to her friend, I want to capture this moment, take this cute picture of me. So you can look at it in the flip side where she had a moment of really feeling herself and feeling good. And I'm exactly. Good for her. But here's my thing. Let's go to the next slide where it says about me. What's the actually 25? What's the lie? Do you get into another swipe section if you're 27? Is she wanting to be in an older section?
I think it's just a glitch.
I've seen people have this issue. So
I don't know these things.
I don't know if it lets you change your age once you do it. Well, it seems silly, but I've seen people type it in their bio. No, I'm actually 15, you know?
Well, I like her little quote. Her quote is just trying to find someone to pet puppies with. Super cute. Meaning like not looking for kids, not looking for marriage, like looking for like a regular partner to but
then right under it, my basic info, and then it says she wants kids someday. So.
Someday. Right. This photo, by the way, I really like this photo. Really like it.
Again, totally staged.
A lot of headroom. A lot of headroom in this photo.
You like the wallpaper.
It's just a great wallpaper.
She's an appreciation for design.
Yeah, she looks sultry. I'm getting, she's a sexual being.
She has a nice slit in her dress.
Yeah.
It looks like an Adele video or something.
It does. It does. I was going to say it reminds me of Adele a little bit. She's got something with the makeup. She's got a sweet face like Adele. Like this photo. I really do.
And this could be like a really good 5-star hotel or like a real piece of shit old hotel that's like trying to, you know.
It could be like one of those like old Italian like catering halls, and this is like the hallway to the bathroom.
Yeah. She's at her friend's kid's bar mitzvah.
Yes. Okay, the next one. Okay, so she's out with her and her friend. She's in a more form-fitting dress, a little more flirty. I think this is cute. Shows her and her friends.
Yeah, her friends look cool. They look like a fun hang.
Can I be honest? Mm-hmm. This picture, though, confused me for a second. I was like, wait, which one is she?
I thought she was the one on the left in the very beginning.
Exactly. I was confused if she was on the left or the right for a minute. And I had to go back to the other photos and be like, wait, which one is she?
That's a great point. The friend on the left here has a great smile. She's really putting out the energy that she is the one who's the main focus of this photo.
Yes. This is why you shouldn't put pictures of you and friends, correct?
Right. But she's got she's got nice calves. But also you're doing a stance you would do if you had shoes on, but you have socks on. Okay.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
She's got socks on.
The next one for me is just, I hate when girls
It's a waste of space. It's a waste with a filter. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. When you filter and you look like a cartoon and it's all cartoony. But again, I'm an old curmudgeon. Like maybe if
this isn't for us.
No, right. I'm with you. I don't think there's there's need or space for a filtered photo in your dating app. Like when they're talking filtered, like Rob said, like it makes you look like you're a cartoon Disney princess with like big eyes and like red pouty lips.
Yeah, I can't do it.
The pouty lips, like her lips look too small here. I don't know if it's...
They look like a butthole.
It does look like there's a butthole, and she's getting like matrixed where her mouth goes, like her lips join together, and then they put a butthole on it.
How was that, babe? I saw you watch The Matrix. How was that?
Explain to me how you know. Explain to me how you know I watched.
Because I'm on your HBO Max account every night, babe.
Oh, Rob, you don't have your own HBO Max.
Isn't that
account?
crazy? Yeah,
I'm frugal. No, the truth is,
Soprano does not have HBO. He has to use mine.
That's a good soundbite right there.
The truth is, I used to have it. And then, to be honest, I don't really watch a lot of stuff on HBO anymore. I don't have a show. I don't have a show on HBO. Like
Succession.
Succession is good, but that's it. Like I'm not gonna have it all year.
Say it again.
Succession. Succession.
Yeah, he's been doing this.
You're like the Phil Collins studio.
Yeah, we have a Succession. Before you watch the show, me and Cassim had this discussion on the pod because you didn't watch the show, you didn't care. Now it hits home.
Succession. I love you so much. What was that other word that time, Cass, that Rob, you and I were like, Rob, say that again?
I know it. I know the moment, but I can't remember the word.
Yes, I know the moment too. All right, we're gonna have to remember
Rob's filled with these. I do want to talk HBO shows after we do this dating profile segment. There's some fun stuff here.
Well, we're done with this one.
Oh, there's one more. Two more photos here.
Oh, that's right. This Christmas tree one.
Christmas tree. Now here's the thing. You've got to light yourself, people. This is a nice holiday photo. It's a wonderful tree, but there is no light. Doesn't make sense. I can't see you. Do you think
is this like trying to be like, I'm funny and silly in public places? Is that what this is saying?
I see festive. I see her festive. Like she wants to let you know she celebrates the holiday and she enjoys it.
Is that important to put in your dating profile?
No, unless you're looking for a guy who also loves holidays. Christmas. Yeah, because like this would be good because I would know we're not a match because I hate holidays.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, this next one, I think.
Wait, hold on. When you said you think that's a good Christmas tree, I think that is like what I hate about Christmas trees when there's just like so much junk thrown on there, and like up top, it's like, look, we're funny. It's like what's
starfish?
That? No, but around that.
Oh, the buoy, the life preserver.
Like
she must be on a Carnival cruise or something here. Like,
this is definitely seaside.
Theme. Well, I'm just saying it's definitely got a lot of shit on it, and I like.
Maybe she decorated it. Maybe this is like a annual contest she enters, and this was her tree that year. Maybe this was something she won a great prize for.
I love this story. I really do, and I'm gonna go with that. It looks like
she won $1,000 and a gift certificate to Chili's.
Yeah.
For this tree at her local karaoke bar.
That's right.
Called The Shipwreck.
That's right.
Wow.
Jamie.
That was also the name of our last pod.
The ship, yeah. Boy, I laid down a stinker last week. Don't think we don't know, guys. We know. Okay.
Did people write in say this is
actually
terrible?
No? I think we're more. I'm very self-conscious of it from my side, but I think we're bringing it this week, and this is a great week to watch us on YouTube, guys. This is there's a lot of fun media here. Okay, final photo.
And you can see my micro needled face.
Yeah, the last photo is the boss, Jamie.
Oh, the boss. Yeah. This is cool. Yeah, she's with Bruce Springsteen at a signing. Great photo. They're matching. Look at this. They color coordinated.
Yeah, she paid for this photo. I mean, this is important.
He paid extra. She got like the VIP because this looks like he took some time with her. You know when you're like rushing people in those like autograph lines, like he took like he's like fully leaning in. Like she got like a special access.
That's right.
And usually when people take like a photo with a big celebrity like that, they're like flustered or whatever, but she went full time to like hand on the hip, like pop, get ready. You know,
this is her pose as well.
What did we learn about her? What do we learn about her?
She likes to pop a knee.
Okay, what do we know from her shirt?
Again, with the life with
Catholic.
Yeah, there's a little bit of Christ in her life, isn't there?
Oh yeah,
a little bit of Christ in her life. And now I don't think that could be anything else. But I mean, from here, that looks like a big old cross. He looks good, right? For a second, when I first clicked on it, I was like, "Is that somebody from a Sopranos convention?" But then I saw that it was the boss. Okay, so maybe our girl here, Lizzie, she's close to God and she's close to the boss. That's what I like. I like this. This is a good look.
Yeah.
Well,
good
then isn't that sacrilegious when she was at the shipwreck and she put a life preserver and a starfish on top of the Christmas tree? Isn't that? Now she's kind of fun. Pick a lane.
She's church like 4 times a year church.
She's only 25.
4 times a year church, but she's going to meet the boss and she has the cross shirt on. I don't know, man.
Well, is the boss religious? This could be a nod, something for them to think about.
She's like a conversation starter for him to be like,
What do you guys rate Lizzie's profile overall, and what are our main things that we like and things that we would
I'm giving her a 7.
Okay.
I think she can do better with, I actually like her cover photo, but I think she can do better with her choices of her other one. I like closing with the boss, means like you're a fan, you have good taste in music. But I just think like the filter one with your friends, unnecessary. Do not do the one with the other 3 friends. I got confused between who you were for a minute. If you're doing that funny Christmas tree one, explain it. Can you just give me like a little something?
Yeah. I'm with you on there. Rob, thoughts?
I was going to go to 6, but then I went to 7 because I think I didn't like the first picture at first, but then like Jamie said, her thing says, I want someone to pet puppies with. And that's what that first picture says. It doesn't say like, I'm looking to fuck, I'm looking to party. I'm looking like, she looks like, hey, I want to pet puppies, like, and like do this. Yeah. So that's, she's putting across what she's trying to put across. So that's all you can do. And I know from looking at this, we are not a match, which makes me feel like she's doing her thing. Like she's putting out there information. Yep. She's letting people know. Like I look at that Chris, like you said, oh, she's festive, Christmas tree. She wants, like, any girl who wants to ever go to a meet and greet anywhere. No. I'm not with you. Right. Like it doesn't mean I don't like you or we wouldn't get it. But if you want me to go, if you're like, oh, you're not going to come to this concert with me and then go backstage, no, never.
Nope.
Right.
Never going to happen. No. So this is good.
I feel you on that. Yeah, I feel you on this. Lizzie, you're very pretty. You've got a great energy. Love the sultry vibe. I love how you love Christmas. It seems like, I don't know if you live on a boat. Great taste in music. I'm going to give you also a 7 out of 10. And I thank you for letting us, doing the brave thing and letting us go through your entire profile. That's not an easy thing to do in public. And, I like this segment. This is a great segment to watch on YouTube, guys. We won't do it all every week, but we will do it again. And I have some more for us to do it on another pod.
That's what I was going to say. I think doing it every week is a mistake, but throwing it in randomly, I think is really nice.
Yeah. And before we get into HBO stuff, I do have an email that ties into the dating apps. You guys are gonna love.
Did somebody see my dating app, babe?
Well, okay. So listen to this. All right. Hello, Pajama Pants. I'm a longtime fan of Sopranos. I discovered your pod through suggested posts on Instagram, and I have to say it's quickly become my favorite podcast. I work overnight shifts, and without PJ Pants, I have no idea how I'd get through my shifts. Been catching up on your back catalog, and as a single guy who's been on and off the apps for years now, I really appreciate Rob and Kassem's dating app saga. A week or so ago, I was listening to Ep 102 when you reviewed Lindsay's dating profile. I remember saying to myself, sounds like my kind of woman. As luck would have it, I matched with her on Hinge today. Needless to say, my mind was blown when we put 2 and 2 together. Been wanting to email into the show for a while and took this as my sign to finally write. Lastly, I wanted to thank you guys for having Perry Caravello on the show. I'd never heard of him or Windy City Heat before, but it is exactly my type of humor. Keep up the great work, Ben. How crazy is that?
I love it. If they get married, we need to officiate or something, because they probably, it was like a good conversation starter of them being like, did your, profile get reviewed on Pajama Pants? And like, we could have started something.
What are the chances of that? I mean, it's not like we're not a huge pod, but like for 2 people, it's insane to me. And I actually remember, do you remember Lindsay's app? She's the one with that big old juicy booty. Do you remember that?
I do remember. Yeah. And there was like, oh, there's like a light under the door crack.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Here's what I think we nominate ourselves to do. You know how when you walk into a wedding and there's like people are trying to figure out which table they're on, looking for the cards.
Yeah.
We do a pod right there.
Right.
So like we have a table and in front of us are all the little cards with the phones.
And we're just talking smack. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so.
Yeah, weddings are great people watching. I love this idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do a full wedding pod. I'll be in a fucking tux.
Yep.
We go all out.
There's a great pod called Podcast But Outside with this very funny guy, Cole Hirsch, and they just set up a table in random spots in the street. And then they interview people. They say, there's a sign that says, we'll give you $1 for you to sit down and interview on our podcast. And sometimes they get celebrities that come on and sometimes just random people. It's very fun.
That's really fun. Is this
really
new?
fun? They've been doing it for at least a couple of years, to my knowledge. But they're very funny, and I highly recommend it. All right. So that was our dating app segment.
I think a lot of people have, between COVID and quarantine, right? We're reassessing our lives. People are wanting to start their own businesses. And obviously an online presence is really important when it comes to a business. But when you think about all of the pieces that go into an online business, whether it's, the e-commerce part of it or creating like membership areas, video blocks, analytics, marketing, traffic overviews, content ownership, it's so incredibly overwhelming. You'd think you'd have to hire 10 different people just to do that alone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that started their own business during the pandemic. And every single one of them signed up for Squarespace because it's kind of like a one-stop shop instead of having to do like one site that does e-commerce and then having to do this part for your other, have somebody do graphic design. It's all kind of there for you, built in, and it takes all the headache. And so you can just kind of focus on making the product or making your business as good as it can be, and knowing that your website is going to be hassle-free and easy to use.
That's right. They have product features from, like Cass said, e-commerce. So anything to help you sell anything is the tools you need to go your business off the ground. They have templates and inventory management, all that kind of stuff, to Squarespace membership areas where you connect with your audience and generate revenue through gated members-only content. You can manage your members, send emails, communicate with them. You guys, the sky's the limit with Squarespace. So you guys, check out squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/pajamas to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And then when your business is up and running, email us, give us a shout, and we'll promote you.
We have a new sponsor, guys. It's Shopify. Jamie, you've used Shopify before with
So my other podcast that I had called Mama Said, we created a bunch of merch, mugs and t-shirts and bags, and we use Shopify, and they were so great in helping us with our day-to-day, with driving our sales. They accepted all major payments. They handled all the shipping, all the on-demand printing, because we obviously would pick our cute little sayings that we want, and then we were able to choose, whether they were on mugs or t-shirts or sweatshirts. There was truly endless possibilities for us to choose from, and it made the whole process of selling our merch a lot easier.
That's right.
Yes, Shopify gives entrepreneurs the resources once reserved for big business. So upstarts, startups, and established businesses alike can sell everywhere, synchronized online and in-person sales, and effortlessly stay informed.
There you go. So go to shopify.com/pajama for a free 14-day trial and get full access to Shopify's entire suite of features. Again, that's shopify.com/pajama, and that's all lowercase. Grow your business with Shopify today. Go to shopify.com/pajama right now, shopify.com/pajama.
Jamie, can you tell the story of what happened in the middle of the night at your house?
With Nene? Yeah. Oh my God. So Aunt Sue, right? We've talked about Aunt Sue here before. She's Cutter's aunt. She is as Southern as you can be. She shot an armadillo with her shotgun. She's like one of my most favorite people in the entire world. So she's one of 8 people that came. They all drove in thinking it would be more COVID safe. They drove in, they tested, they drove in, be with us for Christmas. And we have the people that lived here before us had this upstairs apartment area of the garage that used to be their gym. They were both professional wrestlers, so it was like massive gym. And so we put a bed up there and made as cozy as we can, but it's like the staircase is like this really hard stone. It's dark. It's, whatever. So I guess we call her Nene. I guess Nene was sleepwalking a bit. And wanted to go downstairs because her actual favorite place to sleep in all the houses we've had is the same couch we've had forever, that striped couch. Like she loves to sleep on that couch. And before we went to bed, I said, Nene, why don't you just sleep on the couch? She's like, no, baby, I'm not going to mess up your couch. I'm going upstairs. So she's sleepwalking, and her granddaughter Quinn, heard her and was like, Nene. She was walking with a big blanket, and she heard thump, and then boom, 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 boom. And she was screaming. I didn't hear this, so we were sleeping. They found her in between the stairs and the doorway. And when I say these stairs are hard, picture the hardest stone you've ever felt in your life. So when I wake up in the morning, Cutter, before I get up, he's like, Jamie, I just have to warn you, something really bad happened last night. So immediately I'm like, what the fuck? What? And he's like, Nene fell down the stairs. And she looks like Long John Silver. Like it's really fucking bad. And I'm like, what do you mean? You guys, I'll send a picture to Gabby. Poor Nene fell down the stairs, but this old broad, nothing broke, she's made of titanium. However, her head swelled like this way like like a football, and her eye was a black eye, like like it was black. It was the color black, and then if she looks to the right, blood red.
Oh.
And she was just popping Advil and wine for the next few days, and then it's her knee gave out, basically what was happening. But it was so scary, but at the end of it, it was just a fucking joke because of but then her granddaughter told me, because she rides horses and she's always with her, and she's like, Jamie, one time I finished a show and came around and up limps Nene with like another black eye, and she's like, oh, I fell down. She's like, this is a common occurrence. However, this fall was pretty gnarly.
Whoa. And she's all right.
It could have, Christmas could have been much different. We were all very grateful. We were all thanking God left and right that wasn't worse and we could laugh about it. But I've never seen anyone. She looked like she got in a fight with a Mack truck.
Wow. What a tough bitch.
Yep. The toughest I'll ever know.
She's
not a broken bone. She says it's because of all the milk she drank growing up.
Are we allowed to say how old she is?
Nene, I think is.
I mean, she's not young.
She's in her early 70s at least. Yeah.
I mean, if that was my mom's in her late 60s, she's like porcelain.
I'd be dead. I would have been dead for sure. Like gone, done.
Wow. That's incredible. Well, what a thing to wake up to. Also, with Cutter's like bedside manner when he's like, something bad happened. Like when you wake up, like, what went through your mind first before he told you it was Nene?
That someone was in the hospital.
Okay. And who?
Nene. I thought it was Nene.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's the one that something happens to, like all the time. This is probably the third because Becca was telling me, because Becca came over for Christmas Eve and we warned her before, and she was like, Jamie, when I met her at your house in LA, she had a black eye. Like, this isn't like she falls all the, like shit happens to her, but this was gnarly, as you can see from the photos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, look, so let's talk HBO real fast, since me and Rob share an account right now. And we'll just talk about some of the things we're watching, because there's a show I'm watching that a couple of shows I'm watching on HBO that I really like. I don't know if you guys want to hop in at any point with anything you're watching. It doesn't have to be on HBO, but I'm really enjoying the show Station 11. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's essentially they shot it in like the end of 2019, so before the pandemic happened, but it's about a flu pandemic that wipes out like 90% of the world. And it kind of hops time like 20 years and back. And like, it kind of shows you what it was like before and after. And it kind of follows the point of view of this young girl who becomes, who's played by Mackenzie Davis. Do you know who she is? She was in *Halt and Catch Fire*. She's very good, but it's supremely well acted. The first pilot episode is really great, and essentially just shows you kind of what would happen post a pandemic. I know that sort of like story is kind of fucked out now, but it's like really well done, and it's not a bummer like a lot of these things are, and it's really good and worth the watch. I think there's only like 4 or 5 episodes out right now. The other show is How To with John Wilson.
I can't get into it. I can't. I've
tried.
How To? Yep. I've tried really hard. I can't fucking get
you tried. Well, what'd you come up against? Why couldn't you get it?
Honestly, I think a lot of it was Cutter the entire time. What the fuck is this? What is this? What, like, he just he was not letting me even get there, but in his defense, it wasn't clicking with me.
Yeah. Do you think it'd be one of those things, like if we were there watching it with you, we would have made it more fun for you?
Yeah, probably.
How would you describe the show? Like if you're explaining it to Rob, who's probably never seen it.
Honestly, I tried getting into it a while ago and I've forgotten a lot.
Yeah.
So you do it.
Is that someone with the guy who just films stuff around New York?
Yes.
Yeah. I know that.
There's an episode, and my friend Matt Kugler turned me on to it, but there's an episode on the second season. It's how to drink or how to appreciate wine and the journey that story takes is unreal. It like starts off with like how to appreciate wine, and then before you know it, the dude's like in the Bang Energy CEO's house, and like he just like walks in, and it's crazy. I mean, the stuff that guy does and he's able to capture on camera is so fun for me. And he's hilarious, and he doesn't really have to try to be funny. It's just kind of funny, but I can get it. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Like this, Kyle Mooney, who you're a fan of. Maybe you guys, I know Cutter likes Kyle Mooney. I don't know if you've seen his show on Netflix, Saturday Morning All-Star Hits, but it's Kyle doing a Saturday morning cartoon show from the 90s, and he creates all the cartoons, and he does like the show that introduces the cartoons, and he plays twin characters, and there's like this whole drama that's interwoven in between them, all the episodes and the through lines, but it's like exactly written. It's not jokey. It's just exactly what a Saturday morning cartoon show would be. I'd say episode 4 or 5 is like when things really like, you start to see kind of what's happening with it. But like, it's so well done, and you either like love Kyle or you don't get Kyle. That's kind of like the two camps with Kyle. And if you're fans of Kyle Mooney, and if you haven't checked it out, it's on Netflix called Saturday Morning All-Star Hits, also known as Smash. And those are my recs.
Well, also we are watching the latest season of Curb. Hilarious.
Oh, Tracy
you guys
Ullman
are watching it?
Crushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so good. As far as I know, Tracy Ullman's never been on Curb, but she's my favorite character that's been introduced on that show since like Leon. When Leon was introduced, like season 2 or 3, I don't know what it was, but she's making that kind of an impact this season. It's so great. Yeah. The show's really good. And
I started Yellowstone last night.
Oh, you finally did it,
We're only on episode 3, but it's so good.
Yeah, it was definitely like, because I don't understand that world, like there's parts where I'm like, I don't know what this is for. Like, I don't understand what's going on here. And like, they use kind of lingo that it's like, well, if you were a farmhand, and I'm like, there's just parts where I'm like a little not so sure. Like, I'm like, why are they doing that? Like, I don't even understand like why they're doing what they're doing. But we finished first episode, and I'm like, I'm excited. I'm excited to get it. I love being like in the middle of a show so much that I'm looking for one. So, and like, I know everyone loves this show and the next season's about to come out. So I'm like pushing myself to make myself like it,
Maybe I can, are you on Paramount Plus? Is that how you're watching it? How are you watching it?
I don't know what we're using here. We're at a house. Oh, and can I just say, this is like for a month straight, I was in that apartment, and that's where I was shitting and showering, and it was devastating. Like, the bathroom there was probably the worst bathroom in anywhere like I've ever lived to deal with. And I got to this house. We're at a friend's house in the Hamptons for 7 days, and I used a normal bathroom, and it was like, oh my God, it felt like 1,000,000 pounds of like bricks were lifted off my shoulders to be able to just take a normal poop and to take a shower and not be like hard. The way it was spaced out was so horrible, but also like you have to choose, like, do you want 2 hot water or 2 cold water? Like this the apartment that I was staying in was fine, but the bathroom was tragic.
You don't have to go back there now, right?
No, I'll never be back there. No.
Never be back there.
No.
The Yellowstone, I do want to watch it. I just don't know where to watch it because I know it's on Paramount Plus, but I don't know if that's just the current season or not. They have I think
it might not be on Paramount Plus because we're looking for, I think it's on Peacock.
It is. That's how we got it. We got it on Paramount Plus.
Are you sure it's not Peacock?
I know it's split up. I know it's not like all on one app. Right? Like somebody was telling me that it's like hard to watch because it moved and like, but Taylor Sheridan, I don't know. He's writing like he's writing 2 different shows and I think a movie right now. He does Yellowstone, and then there's a spinoff of Yellowstone,
which is a prequel.
There's a prequel,
something or
1883.
And then there's like Mayor of Kingstown that he's also writing.
Yeah.
And that's another show that I want to start watching. And so those are 3 shows that he's writing all at the same time. And it is Mayor of Kingstown, right? Because I know there's a Mayor of Easttown.
Yeah, that was
Kate Winslet. The Kingstown, I think, is the Taylor Sheridan. Is it Kingstown one related to Yellowstone? I don't know. There's a lot of Taylor Sheridan to consume right now, but the guy's doing well. Prolific. He's prolific.
Jamie, when we talked about going to like this person's wedding or whatever, do you have like a standard when you go to somebody's wedding? Like, what do you usually get them? Are you like, we always get? Yeah, I'm always money. What about you, Cass?
I've done money, and I've also done the gift registry thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think that
if they have a registry, I'll get something usually. If I'm not, depends. If there's something good on the registry, I'll want to get it. But if not, I'll give them money.
Yeah, can't go wrong with money. Do you do cash and do it like in the movies where you just hand them some cash?
Yeah.
Give them a kiss on the side?
No, yeah. I think I do a check.
I remember that, I remember going to your wedding, Jamie, and like me and a bunch of people from New York were like, you give cash in the envelope and this. And then like, I remember Cutter was like over the moon about it. You remember that?
Probably. I think he probably didn't know. He probably didn't realize that was going to happen. Like everything about our wedding he was so young. He was like, he had barely been to weddings. None of his friends were married yet. So yes.
Yeah, I remember you were like, Cutter was like, had never seen that before. Like, it was just like all the cards we opened, it was like money, money, money. Like he was like, Cutter fucking loved it.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best. I think I may do that. My brother's getting married in March. So I always feel like the last one I did, speaking of Matt Kugler, guy who turned me on to the how to, I did a gift registry thing, but they had pay for part of their trip on the gift registry, which I think is fun.
Honey funds.
Yeah. I thought that was
or
good.
Or some of them have just like literally just like start my life fund. Like people are being very straightforward about being like, just donate to like my life. Yeah. Or if they're going on a honeymoon, you could buy them like massages, an excursion or a spa gift certificate. Yeah.
I like that.
That's nice.
I like my last friends who got married because they're one of those people where you're like, what do you get someone who has everything? So I just got I went online and did like a ton of research and got them like 10 or 15 of like the best bottles of wine. Nice. But like all different kinds from different places, and they were all rated like 98 or above it. Like, and I just was like, oh, this is a nice thing to send them. Cause they're always like hosting people and stuff, whatever.
That's nice.
Guys, you guys know I'm an advocate of online therapy. I've publicly stated that I used to spend over $300 a therapy session. And I will tell you this right now, you do not need to spend that kind of money to get the kind of help that you need. I signed up for BetterHelp.com, and it was an app on my phone, and I got matched up with a therapist within 48 hours. What I like about it, besides that it's amazingly affordable, is that you have access to your therapist at any time. So if you want to send them a message, you can do that during the week. You don't just have to wait for your appointment. They're 100% accessible. And it's something that has given me sort of a place to go to when I don't feel like I have another place to turn to or talk to someone with. And I love how BetterHelp is bringing therapy to millions of people who didn't have access to it or didn't really know how to go about it. Because you kind of used to know somebody who knew a good therapist. The process of finding a therapist was always so convoluted and nebulous to me. And BetterHelp kind of streamlined that and made it so much easier.
Yeah, guys, like Kasim said, BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. You don't have to see anyone in person on camera. This sounds good for me. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy. Pajama Pants listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/pajama. That's BETTERHELP.com/pajama.
Athletic Greens, you guys. Athletic Greens has saved me this holiday season. I've eaten so bad. I've had so much crap, but let me tell you how I started my day. Every day was with my Athletic Greens, knowing I was getting all of these essential things, probiotics, immune support, gut health, all hair, nail, body, all the kind of stuff, essential nutrients and vitamins. I had my BM first thing in the morning and I was ready to go. And I felt like truly it's kept my body healthy while eating all this holiday food. I swear.
Yeah. What I like is it's so easy to use, and I've just incorporated it into my morning routine. I have it right before my coffee. There's a little shaker that I got with it. It's a little scooper, boom, some water, and you shake it for 20 seconds and then you drink it. It's done in like 2 minutes. You're done.
It tastes really good for like a scoop of green. You think it's going to have like that, like that bitter taste, and it does not.
It doesn't taste like a vitamin.
Guys, in one scoop, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens.
And right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into flu and cold season. Ugh. It's just one scoop and a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/pajama. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/pajama to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. I got some questions from our Instagram. I figure we can bang some of these out. I think some of them are actually pretty good. Follow us on Instagram, guys, at Pajama Pants Podcast. We will sometimes, like today, take questions from you guys. And that's also where you can send us your dating profile screen cap so we can humiliate you on the pod. This question is from Boz Wab. He says, what's the best rumor you've ever heard about yourself? And I'll give you guys a second to think about it.
That I dated Lenny Kravitz.
Oh, interesting. And do you know how that came about or why somebody?
Yeah, because I was dating a guy that lived in his building.
Oh, so they just put 2 and 2 together. They figured, oh, this celebrity has to be dating this celebrity because she's going in the building.
Mm-hmm.
I think me and Lenny Kravitz went to the same public school. Shout out PS6.
Ooh.
Did you ever have to, did a friend ever come up to you and be like, hey, are you dating Lenny Kravitz?
No, it was like in Page 6 or something.
But no one was like, hey, is this true?
I'm definitely not on like the vibrational level of somebody that could like Lenny Kravitz would even notice. Like,
no, I'm asking,
not
do you
cool
have
enough
any
or sexy enough to ever be in his?
I'm asking you, do you have any friends that came up to you that saw the Page 6?
No, that is my point. Like nobody would have even like thought that was possible.
Oh, you're saying it's so out of the realm of possibility that no one close to you would ever buy into it.
Correct.
What are you saying? Cutter Dykstra is not Lenny Kravitz? Like they're like the same.
Well, Cutter was in like the 5th grade when that was in Page 6, but
yeah.
Rob, do you have one?
You started dating. No, I don't know. Amy, do you remember ever?
I just always found like one thing that I would always get upset about if it was written about you or me was like if you would ever be rude to like staff or anything, because that's just like not who you are. And that's such a like lame thing to write about. Like I remember when I first started going out to New York and they were like, she cut the line and was rude to staff, when really all it was, I was waiting in line and somebody recognized me and was like, yo, and like, right when the show first started airing, being like, yo, you're in Sopranos. Oh my God, come in, and probably piss somebody off on the line. So I think just anytime those rumors about like if you were ever rude or obnoxious at being out were always not true and would bother me because you never acted that way.
Yeah, I don't even remember ever hearing that. But okay, I have a good one.
Here we go.
You know what I'm talking about. That there was like something written about you in that club that we were at, the opening of that like, what was it called? Where you had the the bottle of vodka, and I'm like,
oh yeah, sure. But I think like, right, I know the picture you're talking about. We could probably put it up. But I think saying like I was drunk and loud and annoying, like I think that's fine. But I don't remember anybody being like he was rude to staff. But I could be wrong.
I'm remembering that article, and
I could totally be wrong. I have no idea. But one thing that bothered me so much was and I think we've talked about this, but when I got arrested, I gave them a fake name. And I told them like, yeah, here's my name, like blah, blah, blah. And like, I was completely like hiding, like wasn't talking, nothing this. And when the article came out in like the thing, it was like when they put the handcuffs on Robert, he screamed, "Don't you know who I am?"
Yes,
like,
that's what I'm thinking of. Like you don't
that is like, I was so mad about that because I was like, that is the opposite of what I was doing. Like I was like, I had my head down the whole time. Like I'm just like, please, like get me out of this. Like I don't want to be fucking part of it. And it's like but you know what I also found? It's like anytime anybody gets arrested, it's like they use the same thing for some reason. That must sell papers. Like, don't you know who I am? Like,
yeah,
that's like
but like, do you ever seen the footage when Luann de Lesseps got arrested?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What was she like? I will kill you. I'm going to kill you. She was saying to the cop.
Yeah, that's fucking allegedly. No, but you saw there's like video but like she threatened to kill a cop, I think, right?
Yes. In Palm Beach.
Yeah, housewives are crazy. Your friend is back on the Housewives.
Yeah. Oh my God. What's her name? You know, now it's just like, it's so funny because when they show the flashbacks of them from like 6 years ago and they look like different people after all these injectables in their face.
Yeah.
You know who's doing it right is Kyle Richards. She looks awesome. However, she's like slightly altering her face. Like when you guys let me start injecting my face, like I want to go to whoever Kyle goes to.
When we let you.
You said you won't talk to me when I start doing it.
Well, I thought you said in the beginning of this pod that that's what you did today.
Then she's got a facial.
I did micro needling. I did a facial. I didn't get
You think I know what that is?
It's like they take little needles and they make make little what am I trying to say?
Open your pores.
They harm your skin, so your skin produces like cells and collagen to try and fix it. And it's supposed to, and then you put like a laser, and together they like regenerate the top dermis of your skin. And you're supposed to do it like every couple of months to like keep your skin looking young. Every couple of
months. Every 8 weeks, you got to go under the needle. No.
It's not a needle. They numb you.
It's a million little ones, Cass.
It's not one needle. It's 1,000 needles.
That's right.
I don't like it.
Okay,
but yeah, their faces look so crazy. Like Shannon, whatever on OC.
Yeah. Woo! You know what, Cass? You know what they do in these shows now, in these Real Housewives, is they always do a scene almost in every episode in like doctor's office while they're getting like they're like, oh, let's go meet for coffee. Yeah, and then they go and you see them like injecting needles like under their eyebrows and filling it up, and then like the bump is like created on, it's like a marble is like under their skin, and the doctor's like, don't worry, it'll go down a little bit, and they like put all this stuff everywhere, and these poor women, man, because you're like, this woman is like what she's 65 now, she looks 63, like it's not stop it.
Oh man.
Yeah, I just don't think, I think where we're at with plastic surgery is we're not there. You know what I mean? I see rich women who look like panthers, they look like lionesses, you know, and if they're paying for that to look, and they all end up looking, if you get enough of those surgeries, you all end up looking like the same thing, which is like a lioness with big cheekbones and these big fat lips.
I want like the eyebrow. Like I want to look like.
You know what's going to happen is like so many people are going to get work done that just having a natural face is going to become attractive. like,
yeah, it's already attractive. When I'm looking through these dating apps, when I see a girl who I'm like, oh wow, you don't look like you look human, like you look.
Yeah.
It's like, it's really nice. It's great. Like, listen, but I understand when girls are like 65 getting it. There's women who are like 22, 23 in LA getting this stuff done, and it is bad.
That's crazy.
It's so bad. But I think, Jamie, like, I think even 40 is like, yo, what are you crazy? Like, Jamie, you look so young to be like, oh, I need to like get like only if only this, like, if Jamie, if I said to you like,
I just want my
I'm not happy with the way I look, Jamie, like, what do you think of that? Like, how's that?
The slippery slope. Yeah,
I like it, Rob. I like it.
I mean, it's just so, it's like you don't need it.
Most guys,
I would also love to know what I would look like with like slightly bigger lips. Like,
no, you guys have the luxury of being two good looking people. I feel like there's a I got to represent the Uggos out there. And I got to say, sometimes you can get some work done. There's the Uggos listening to this who cannot relate to you or Rob, because you guys look so great and you've only gotten better looking as you've gotten older. But there are some Uggos out there that really do benefit. You do a little bit here and there, like Tom Cruise, whatever Tom Cruise has been doing.
Terrible.
Well, now he looks crazy.
Filler.
Now he looks crazy, but like for a long time, he looked pretty good. Keanu Reeves looks natural, but looks good.
Aren't you naming like the most handsome guys in the world? You're like, I gotta rep my Uggos out there.
I just don't know Uggos that are getting, but you got to go small. You got to go small, and you've got to do a little bit at a time. And you can't just go full blast at once. And if you're an Uggo, it's okay. No one's going to say, like, no one's telling Uggos, no one's telling us like, hey, you're already beautiful. We know we're not. We got to go out there and we got to do something about it. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And it's okay if you want to do it. Look at this. Look at these lines.
They look great.
I don't even
see this. Look at this. You can fucking make music on this.
You look great. Wash my clothes on that forehead, babe.
I got some more questions here. Okay. Best rumor about myself. I didn't answer. The best rumor I had about myself was
Great question, by the way. Who asked this?
Boz Wob. Yeah, this is like one of your Sharpie questions, except on Instagram, Yeah. It's good. Best rumor probably that I was like fucking porn stars. This a certain porn star, I forget which one.
Have you never fucked a porn star? Do we talk about that? I don't know the answer.
Yeah, we have. No, I never have. I always felt like, because I was doing that show and it wasn't, if I was going to start fucking with, it would be a bad look. And I wasn't trying to do the show to have sex with porn stars, But
you never thought like, hey, one time for the Uggos?
No, never. Mm-hmm. There was one girl.
Selfish.
There was one girl where I was like, she seems kind of normal. And then like, even normal for a porn star was like, no, this bitch is bad. She's bad shit crazy. There are some, I'm not gonna say, I'm not generalizing, but I didn't come across any majorly normal people that did that kind of stuff.
Cass, do you remember the first time you told a girl you loved her?
The first time?
Yeah. Like, how old are you, or what was the scenario?
I have no idea.
Really?
Yeah, I do not remember it. It might have been my first long-term relationship, maybe when I was 20, but I feel like I probably, like, as a kid, you love anyone that, you date. I feel like, and I might have said it when I was like,
touched your pee-pee.
Yeah, any girl that's touched my pee-pee I'm gonna love.
Yeah, and then as you get older, you start to hate them, and then you come full circle. You come back around. Like, I think early, like late teens, or you're like, oh my god, I love it. Oh, this, and then somewhere in like the late 20s, like I started just being like, ugh, like you like me, like, you poor thing, like you're so lost. Find yourself, and then now I'm getting back into a place of being like, oh wow, like this is, I love the people I date.
Yeah, that all just goes in line with your own confidence and how you see yourself, right? Like, if you're not happy with who you are, then you're like, how could you be happy with anyone who's happy with that version of yourself?
Except for, I think you're right, except for the first part, like the 17, 18-year-old. I think you're just so excited someone's touching your pee-pee. Like exactly what she said. It's like, this is unbelievable. Like, oh my God, like she wants to touch my pee-pee. That's it. That's all.
Yeah. Coming was so important that you dropped the L word. I don't remember. Do you remember the first person you said it to?
Yeah, the first girl that I dated for like a year.
Let's shout her out. Let's put her Instagram out there.
That's all right.
I know her name.
That's all right. Everybody, well, actually, you think you know her name, but she changed her name.
Oh, ¿por qué?
Yeah. Oh God, who knows? But yeah. What about you? What about you, Jamie? Did you?
Oh, the first, my first boyfriend, the guy I lost my virginity to.
And did you say it or did he? Do you remember?
I always waited till they said it first.
Why is that? Is that just
because when you're young, you just always assume like you give all the power to the guy and that he's deciding where this relationship is going when it's time you're exclusive, like all those things. It's so funny. I feel like I'm just at that stage where I look back, even relationships in my like late 20s, like my last few relationships, even right before I met Cutter, where I could be like, girl, what the fuck was wrong with you? Like, why the fuck were you like lowering yourself to that guy's standards? Or like, why did you give a shit about half the things that I cared about? Like, it blows my mind. Like, and I just think about like the game I would have had if I was me today then. Do you know what I mean? Like, I literally would have been like, fuck you, motherfucker, and like walked out. But there was like guys that I like let everything slide for a long time just because I was like so fucking in love with an idea of them, I guess. I don't know. I mean, like obviously it comes with experience in life, but man, I wish I could go back to like my 20s or even in high school and just like be like, just have my attitude now. It would be really fun to see like how guys would react,
What was the idea of them that you think you were in love with? Like, what did you want?
Well, I think that initially I got an impression of, obviously there was chemistry and there was attraction and there was excitement. And I think at least for me, especially when I was young and I would like meet a guy that I really liked, I would just start fantasizing about what our life would be like. And then the longer you spend with them, the more fun you have and you're in that honeymoon stage and you just don't want it to end. And then usually when they're an asshole, they kind of start showing their cards pretty early. And like, I just was just letting everything slide or being like, well, that's probably just okay, right? If they do that, it's just like, that's no big deal, right? Because I just didn't want to lose this like awesome opportunity would it seem like I had. And also too, I mean, I think in my late 20s, I was starting to feel, even though that was ridiculous, like this clock for me of like, I got to lock it down. I don't want to be single in my 30s when honestly, being single in my early 30s was the greatest gift because that's like, I was at a mature enough age to find myself like really so that when I was ready, when I did meet Cutter, which I had been single for like a year and a half, almost 2 years when I got with Cutter.
Is there anything you could think of where you're like, I can't believe I put up with that? Like specifically?
Of course, cheating. When it was very clear it was happening.
And how did you hear that the cheating was going on?
How did I find out? Well, there were some that would told me. One time I looked at a phone. I looked at a guy's phone. And then I just like, but honestly, through that whole scenario, I felt worse about going through his phone than even what I found. Like, that's what I was more upset about was like, I hate that I am in a relationship where I don't trust this person enough that I'm actually going through their phone. Cause I think it's kind of fucked up to do that.
Gross.
But I hated it. I hated myself, but I knew that something was going on, which is why I looked. But it was just all bad. Just all bad. But if I didn't go through all that and I wasn't mature when I met Cutter, who knows if him and I would have lasted? Because honestly, I mean, he was playing baseball. We were apart for the first 3 years of our relationship, I had a little baby. He'd never had to call me when he got back to his room after a game because of if I was sleeping, or, like, I never asked him to check it. Like, it was a very trusting relationship that I had to go through all that other shit to kind of get to. If I was 22 and he was 22, it would have been very difficult to do that.
Yeah. Trust is one of those things. It's like when you get burned once, it affects all your relationships until you kind of address it, because it's, we've all had that unfortunate thing. Well, not all of us, but like all of us here. I think, Rob, you've been cheated on, haven't you? Or you had something?
No, I only had one girl who I like really would have considered it cheating if she was like dating somebody she did. But then like after we were done, she did a lot of fucked up shit.
Yeah.
But never while we were together, or that I don't know about. Who knows? Like, we were so young. Who fucking
It's still like a form of betrayal,
Oh, big time. Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough to like be vulnerable. And that's all we're really required to do in a relationship, is just be open and vulnerable and ask, and hope that person doesn't hurt us. And sometimes we do. And then we like retreat back into our shell. And then the new person you start dating, like, sometimes gets the insecurities from that last one. And so it's like, you have to like keep being open to like be vulnerable in every new relationship, but like you've also been burned. So it's like this tough sort of dance that we do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's when you meet the right person and you'll know, there's just different actions, and hopefully those of you that are in relationships or were in relationships like that know what it feels like, and you find newer relationships that don't put out that same energy. And maybe you're like not putting out that same energy yourself and attracting those kinds of people, because I think they can smell it on you.
Yeah.
I have an email. Its subject is called it's Autism Talk. And this is from somebody who we've interacted with before. This is Laura. She's the OnlyFans girl that we pimped out on the pod. I mean, that's a fun word to use, but we've shouted her out. I think it's at Bunny Dearest on OnlyFans. There you go. She says, "Hey, panties. I've been spending years and years trying to figure out all my mental issues. And during COVID, I came to the conclusion that I'm autistic. Hearing you guys do the tests only further confirms this idea. Jamie was talking about how awkward the eye contact or lack thereof feels when picking up her kids. When you have autism, you experience this feeling essentially anytime you're out of the house, unless, of course, you're hanging out with other autistic people. Because it's a spectrum, it isn't as black and white as having it versus not having it. But knowing Rob with his OCD tendencies, I don't doubt he could have it. I share many traits with Rob specifically. I could talk for hours about the Venn diagram of neurodivergent crossovers. Parentheses, neurodivergencies include autism, ADHD, OCD, Tourette's, bipolar, and more. So it's difficult to assess in adults. I like hearing you guys talk about this, especially in an accepting way. None of you are afraid of the possibility of having it, and I think it's cool you take the tests on the pod. The last thing I'll say, normal people aren't watching Love on the Spectrum and find it to be a little too relatable. All right. Love you guys, Laura. Thanks, Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I feel like we all have a little bit of the tendency, but it's fun. It's fun to me when people realize that they're autistic later in life. It's like kind of like an answer. You've always had this thing, but you've never really had a way to describe it. And,
Well, I think it's just also it's coming with, education and people just talking about it more and taking the stigma away from it. Because, I feel like when we were kids, you would hear autistic and you would think, like mentally disabled. Do you know what I mean? Like you would immediately go to thinking like of an extreme. And then I think as time has gone on and then people are talking about it more and being more open and honest and unashamed of it, we're able to understand more about it and see exactly, like the full spectrum of it. So yeah, I think that's it's liberating probably for so many people to kind of feel like there isn't something, wrong with them or different about them. Like it's just, it just allows you to kind of just understand yourself more. I think that's what I've kind of come to recently about like MS for me is like, it's the diagnosis, but it's just like understanding more. Cause honestly, it came from, I was explaining it to my friend's kid. She was like, why do you walk that way? I was like, well, it's just something about me. MS is just something that's about me, and this is how it affects me. We all have something about us that makes us different or whatever. And I don't know. I know I've said this before. Anytime I feel like I ever have to explain anything to like my kids or a kid, it like feel like I'm like getting re-explained it to myself, like because it really can be that simple. So I think, when it comes to autism and stuff like this, it's just kind of being able to understand yourself more, and it gives you more liberty and freedom within yourself to kind of just be who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also like, like what you were what you were saying with like people used to hear autism. And I think before it was way more of like, oh, that poor child. Like that poor guy. And obviously like it's sadder when it's a kid always, but like, and it's always a very difficult thing to deal with as a parent, whatever. But you see the parents of these kids on like autism, like on the spectrum. What is it called? Love on the Spectrum.
Love on the Spectrum.
And like this woman is like, I love my son so, like he's the greatest gift of like the way that he thinks. More people should think that way. Like he's so and I love that. Like it's just like it's so great seeing them interact that way, because you have the thing in your head of like, oh God, it must be so sad in that home. Like, people want to put that out there of like, oh my God, it must be so sad and devastating and this and having to deal with a son like that. Meanwhile, like what a joy. Like it of course it sucks that like he might be 35 and need like, and not off having a family in this because he's a little different in this, but like, that one, Michael's mother is like so in love with him, and it comes through the screen, where you're like, God, it's just so great.
Yeah. I think all the families that you see on that show, by the time, all those guys are in their 20s and 30s, they've been through so much, and they're at a place where it's manageable. But I got to imagine when your kid's autistic and like going to school when they're like 5, 6, 7, like, and maybe getting treated like weird at school by other people, like that's got to be so hard.
Terrible.
Have your kids get made fun of.
But you know what? I think now, because my generation are the parents, I think that I find like, even when I'll hear Bo like say a natural thing of a kid of being like, you're dumb or this and that, I'm like, hey. Let's talk about this for a minute. You know what I mean? Like I like kind of redirecting him and correcting some behavior that I'm able to do because I have a more compassionate way to explain it to him, because I have a more compassionate view of the world, and I'm able to kind of see things better because of the internet, because of accessibility to people and programming and all this kinds of stuff. So I don't think that that's going to be as common, or I'd hope it wouldn't be as common, because I have great faith in this current generation of young parents and kind of how we're teaching our kids to be better people.
Isn't it so weird though? Like I see like one of these autistic people on the show, like Love on the Spectrum, and like, I just like, oh God, this person is so fucking interesting. And then like I see like, a huge celebrity on a red carpet, and my first thought is like, oh, what a bore. Like, like it's just like, ugh, like you huge bore. Like, it's like, like
the only time I get turned off when I see that is just like, sometimes you can catch the air of like, just the feeling like that's all that matters, or like you are doing the most important work, or what you're getting to experience is the biggest thing in the world. And honestly, that's what like moving to Texas, the biggest difference has done for me, where it's like there is a whole fucking world out there that has no idea what's happening in LA and it doesn't care. Like LA has this way of making you believe that this is the most important place in the entire world. Do you know what I mean? And it's just, it's
a bubble.
It's great. Sure. And it's fun and it's amazing. And I love LA in many ways. And, you know, I love the business that I'm in, but like it's important and it's nice to kind of remove yourself from it and be reminded that there's so many ways that life can make you happy and fulfilled. You know?
Yeah. I feel very grateful that like I never bought into that, you know?
No,
like I never like
That's
I
not
got
who you
like
are.
I don't and also I think like somehow like the fact that like I don't have a car is like, you know, like I'm just like I go to like I'm in like one neighborhood out there, like I don't even know like you know, like I don't know. Like people keep, now that I'm back in New York and everyone, like I'm seeing my friends and this, they're like, you really want to live in LA? And I'm like, no. Like, I don't. And they're like, well, you want to come home here? And I'm like, no, like, I don't want to come.
You got to just come to Austin.
Yeah, I know. But that's, again, the problem with Austin is like, I don't have enough friends there who would be like day to day. You know what I mean? Like I have a couple of friends there who are like, have families and kids and they're doing their thing. You know what I mean? Like I need.
Yeah, I know.
I need my day to dayers. But I can't wait to get back to LA to go to Air One to get my good
come on back. Again. We know what you need. We got what you need, baby boy.
I'll be home in 2 weeks, Cass.
2
coming
weeks.
For you. I'm coming for you, baby blue.
I can't wait. We're gonna go. We're gonna hit Air One so fucking hard. We're gonna gonna get the bone broth. We're gonna get the salads. We're gonna get the sushi. We're gonna go to the beach.
We're gonna play frisbee.
Oh my God, the amount of frisbee.
Yeah, you missing me, baby, huh?
Oh, a little bit. I got a little withdrawals, you know. I like to see my little boy.
I'm excited for frisbee. Yeah. Let's before we wrap up, does anybody have New Year's resolutions or no?
Ooh, you go ahead. Let me see if I can think of one.
I just want to stay perfect. That's all.
That's a great one. No, that's a great one. I'd love to exercise. Like I kind of fell off on the last quarter on exercise.
That's mine.
I have everything I need to do it. And I've just been so bogged down with work and I just can't get up early enough to do it. But I'd love to find a way to incorporate exercise. It used to be second nature to me. Now I can't even work it in like once or twice a week. It's been really tough.
Yeah.
When I come back out there, we're working out and we're doing frisbee, babe.
Can't wait, baby. Have a happy new year. I'm going to celebrate by not getting COVID. So I'm going to do my best. It's spreading like goddamn wildfire out here. So stay safe. If you're out there, if you did get COVID, hopefully you got through it A-okay. You know, hopefully it's just that Omicron and it's gotten, it's much milder. I just read a thing today, how much milder it is and how people aren't being hospitalized at the same rate, which is really good to hear. And I hope if you do get it, it is the Omicron and you're through it fast enough.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right. If you guys want to email us, Happy New Year. Email us at askpajamapants@gmail.com. Send us an Instagram. Follow us at Pajama Pants Podcast. We're on Twitter too. Jamie and I are on Twitter and Instagram. And Rob is off the grid as per usual.